Hi, we're Brian, Marisha, and Klaus. We just spent 2 months overlanding the entire Mexican Baja Peninsula in our Revel 4x4 Sprinter van. Our main goal for this trip was to explore as many dirt roads as possible, as well as testing out our newly acquired surf skills on some of Baja's beginner surf breaks. We learned a lot, so we're making a series of videos to give you what we did not have. And that is a one-stop shop to planning an extended overlanding trip through Baja. In upcoming videos, we'll be covering route planning and maps, vehicle prep, what to pack, border crossing info, basics like fuel and water, roads, on and off-road, off-grid camping, and much more. The do's, the don'ts, and all the things we learned along the way.
That's Spanish for take a load off.
So let's get started.
Bye, Brian. Good luck.
Hey, welcome back to the vehicle prep section of this series. Last time we went over the importance of tires and tire gadgets. In this video, we'll look at a key way to protect your vehicle while overlanding. We hit it way too hard, way too fast.
There's our scuff.
As well as recovery tools you should have, because let's face it, if you don't get stuck, you're not having enough fun.
So, moving on to the skid plates, we added these just because it's not something you'd see on the outside of the van very much, but the functionality is really, really important. There's basically 4 skid plates underneath the van. We actually ordered them through Owl Vans, and Compass Van makes the skid plates. There's 3 up front and 1 in the rear. The rear is the rear differential. There's a cap that goes on your rear diff. If you scrape that along a rock or even a hump, you know, a lot of times you'll be on a double track and you get a really big hump in the center. That can peel that cap back a little bit, and if that happens, your rear diff will leak, and that's obviously bad, and that's disabling. That's a lower point on the vehicle actually from a clearance standpoint. And then there's 3 skid plates up front. You have this front one right here that you can see. That's an angle up. This is probably one of the more important ones as well, in the sense that if you look underneath your Sprinter, the oil pan is literally right there. So the first thing, almost the first thing that hits is your oil pan if you were to hit a rock or something along those lines in the front. So this one's really important. There's 2 more behind that. One covers the engine and the independent suspension just a little bit, and the one behind that one is for the transmission. So the transmission also hangs down pretty low in the center of the vehicle. If you look underneath your van, you're going to be able to see a silver box that's right there in the center. That's your transmission, and so that rear skid plate covers that transmission so that doesn't get hung up on anything either. So these are really important. The 2 in the rear up here on the front are aluminum. The front one's steel, and the one in the rear is steel as well. So 2 of them are aluminum, 2 of them are steel. So as far as contact points go, whenever you're overlanding, doing any type of off-roading, you're going to get stuck, pretty much guaranteed.
We were so close. So close to the hard pack.
So as soon as you get stuck, you need to get out and you need contact points. So we're a little weak on this. This is the stock contact point that Mercedes puts on here. Just an FYI, this is 3/4 inch steel. This is the same thickness that you have on the D-rings, which I'll have in the back, which I'll show you here in a second. Pulling straight, I've used this a couple of times, and pulling straight, no problem. It's rock solid, it's good. Where my concern is if you have to pull from the side at a really sharp angle, I'm not sure exactly how that would hold up. So there are a number of different bumper systems that you can get for Sprinters where they're going to give you much heavier duty contact points, and if we were to do one more modification, that would probably be our next modification, is get 2 D-rings on the front that we could have as contact points, and they're going to be much more durable. So on the rear, this is what we have on the rear, and that's connected to the hitch, and that's 3/4 steel as well. Have at least 2 contact points. I would recommend having a couple spares of these as well, because as you're hooking the ropes up and the straps up, and we'll give you a shot of some of the straps that we carry with in our bin. There's a specific bin that we have that has extra parts, tools, as well as recovery gear, and we'll give you a shot of that. So when it comes to recovery gear, kind of spinning off the contact points, this gives you a good snapshot. We have a couple different toe straps. We have a bridle strap here, but we got bridle straps to wrap around trees if you have multiple contact points and things of that nature. Also different lengths as far as the straps go. The only thing on straps I would say is that just figure out the weight of your vehicle, and then just make sure you get the appropriate straps from a weight standpoint so that they're going to be strong enough and they're not going to break. Some of you may not know, but HiLifts come apart and they can be really portable, super easy. There's three major parts to the HiLift: the mechanism, the actual bar, and then the lever. We have that fixed to our bed right here. So I have the actual ratchet bar on the top. And so we just take it apart so we don't have to have the whole mechanism somewhere on the vehicle. And then here's I have the platform and the actual mechanism in this bin. So it's not something we use, it's like an emergency situation. It's basically our winch. You know, it'll work exactly like a winch. It'll take a lot longer to use, but it'll get you out of that situation, and it's strong enough to pull, and you can connect, just like, it's not just lifting your vehicle up, but you can connect it to two straps and use it to actually pull your vehicle out. Also, some people may not be aware of this, but you can get these. And I don't know if you've noticed on our van, but we have steel rims, the original Sprinter steel rims. And these hooks hook into those holes, or holes on a rim. This goes against the actual tire, like this. And then the HiLift goes right in here. And you can lift the whole vehicle off the ground from one tire using this mechanism. So there's a lot of different parts that you need. You don't need steel bumpers to use a HiLift to lift your vehicle up. You could do something like this depending on your rims. If you have fancy rims, it may not work. If they're, you know, alloy rims, they may not be strong enough. But if you have steel rims, that'll work just fine to hook those in there and lift your vehicle up that way. And last topic on recovery gear, we have two shovels that we use. These are steel with fiberglass. Awesome, great size. They're very effective to use. Crapper shovels too.
Bye, Brian. Good luck.
And so the spade's like a really good size that you can actually move a decent amount of sand or snow or whatever you're doing. And they don't take a ton of space. You have to put them outside the vehicle, especially for sprinters. You just pop them right on there. Axe, firewood, but also, you know, clearing trails. Sometimes there'll be a down log or something like that. We do have saws as well, depending on how big it is. This can come in handy. We don't do really hard off-roading, but it doesn't even matter if you're doing hard off-roading, you're still going to get stuck.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. And then MaxTrax on the top. We have those mounted on the top. I think we got a shot of that. You can just pop in there of where we put our MaxTrax. You can, with the Revel, this is a little bit more Revel specific, you can go through these holes and go into a carriage bolt that's in this slot of the rack. That will work. What I did is I drilled through them, which I've used them since then. I was a little worried that it might compromise the structure of it, but it hasn't at all. I've used them several times. But it gave me a lot more distance. I was able to move this back bar further back and give me more space up here. So that's how I chose to do that. Again, just I'll do stainless steel bolts so that they don't rust. You can get them on and off easy. And those work really well. We've used those several times.
Nice job, buddy.
Nice.
Woo!
MaxTrax are a game changer. A lot of times we're by ourselves, so self-recovery is kind of a big deal for us. And being able to have the equipment to get ourselves out of situations as best we can. Hopefully you're going to run into somebody eventually, but you never know. Some other things that we've done is modifications or lighting. So you can see we use rigid lights. I've had really good success with them. They don't get moisture inside of them. The plastic on the front doesn't discolor when it's in the sun a lot. And cheaper knockoff lights will do that. You'll see lights on vehicles where the plastic's all yellow. This sits out in the sun. It's been in a lot of sun for 5 years and it looks brand new still. No moisture in any of the lights either. So what we did is we did a bar on the front, and then we did cube lights around the sides, and we did cube light in the rear. And that's for a couple of reasons. When you're looking for campsites in the dark, the cubes on the side really help to look at the surrounding area while you're driving in the van. And then same with the rear light. Similar reason, if you're backing up, it gives you a lot more light so you can see tree stumps and things of that nature, rocks. a lot easier in the dark, so you're not backing up into them. And those are things that you may or may not see on the rear view camera, may or may not see in the side view mirrors as well. So having that light on the back is great for just working around the vehicle once you've camped, but also finding the situation, parking the vehicle at night. I use it here in our driveway at our house, actually backing up our driveway here. I use that rear light just to be able to see better when I'm backing up.
Thanks again for joining. We hope you're finding these videos helpful. Next time we talk essential tools we bring and how we manage our storage, especially for longer trips.
Okay, so we have to fit all of this into this, plus this. I don't know.
Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Adventure is calling.